me and my friends will present about monthly student expenditure at University Sains Malaysia. Changing economic condition in Malaysia, the rising cost of living affect the working population, but it's also felt by city students. At University Sains Malaysia, many students are facing financial pressure due to increasing cost of food, accommodation, and service. This situation directly impacts their mental wealth as well as their academic performance. As KKT Meladang student, we explore the issue of student accommodation at University Sains Malaysia in Nibong Tebal. Due to rising living costs and financial commitments, many students struggle to manage their daily expenses. Those from low-income families are especially affected. This study is based on collected data from articles to better understand these growing issues.
So this is our frequency table, which we have created from our raw data. At first glance, we can see how the table's data is sorted by class. Therefore, we can see the classes intervals, aka 37, and class midpoint. Not only that, we can also see our frequency and cumulative frequency, which is 100. With this, we can even find the median for this table. Here is our OGIF. From this, we can find information like median, quartiles, percentiles, cumulative frequency, and maximum or minimum value. But here, I want to stress on how we got the median number from this. First, we take the cumulative frequency number on the y-axis and divide it by 2, resulting in 50. Then, we draw a line along the x-axis where the 50 is, and when that line crosses our OGIF, we draw a line straight down, and that's how we got our median, which is 350 and 0.9. To find the mode from this graph, first, we must identify the tallest bar. Seeing how the tallest bar is the leftmost out of the rest of them, we must draw a line starting from 0 until the top right corner of the bar. Then, we draw a line from the top left corner of the bar until the top left corner of the other bar. Then, we will draw a line straight down from the intersection of these two lines. The value it reaches is our mode, which is 237.9.
So, from ungrouped data, now we can move to statistical conclusion using raw data. So, what we get a mean is 396.64 and median is 379.5 and mode is 563. And this is the mean represents the average monthly spending. So, on average, students spend about 396 per month. The median show the middle value, and the mode show the most frequent expenditure. For the population variance, we get is 1382.03 and sample variance is 14,022.25 and population standard deviations we get 170.82 and the sample standard deviation we get is 118.42. The standard deviations, as we can see, show the spread of the data. Since the value is not extremely high, and it shows that most students' spending is not too far from the average. Now, let's see we analyze the group data using class intervals, which is we get means is 399.195 and median we get 391.32 and mode we get 121.19. And we can see that the mean for group and ungrouped data is almost the same, and this is because the group data use midpoint for approximations and which still very close to actual core values. And we can see the standard deviation for group data is 11.74, and this is show the data distributions pattern remains consistent.
Now I'll present the comparison discussion of our findings based on the summary table. First, for the mean, that you can see the value for group data is
399.20 and ungroup data 396.64 are nearly identical. This happened because the midpoint we use for group calculation provides a very high level of accuracy compared to the raw data. Second, furthermore, our histogram showed the highest frequency fall within the 210.5 to 249.5 range. This indicates a common spending pattern among the majority of students, likely due to similar financial constraints for the median. All three methods, graphical, group, and ungroup data, stay within a consistent range of 350 to 391. This consistency reinforces our analysis that the typical student maintain a moderate monthly expenditure. Finally, standard deviation. 3 is notable gap between group data 11.74 and ungroup data 118.42. This is because group data smooth out variation into classes, while ungroup data account for every individual raw value, including extreme outliers. So, as we can see, this figure aligns with current trend regarding the rising cost of living, showing that most students are forced to manage their spending within a very specific limit range. Moving on to the final part of our presentation, the conclusion. First, our key findings. From our conclusion, we found the most USM students maintaining a consistent spending level, roughly between 318 ringgit to 390 ringgit per month. While this seems moderate, we noticed a huge gap between the minimum expenditure of 210 and the maximum of 595 ringgit. This shows a clear financial disparity, meaning every student financial reality is very different depending on their background. So next, to help students manage this pressure, we suggest 3 main steps. First, financial literacy. The university should host workshops on cash flow management so students can better differentiate between needs and wants. Second, enhancing support. We highly encourage expanding campus programs like food bank to help those in a lower spending brackets. Third, side income. Creating more part-time jobs on campus like in the library or cafe will help students earn extra pocket money without affecting their study. So, final thought, these statistics are more than just numbers. They show that student cost of living issue needs seriously attention to ensure everyone can focus and their study and maintain their good mental health. That's all from us. Thank you.